that has been?
We were operating under our current standard of compliance and investigation. It wasn't as stringent the vehicle code restricting the use was not yet in effect. But overall, we were auditing and examining all of the use on our clock system under almost all of the restrictions that we have in place now.
Thank you, I appreciate that, and I do want to thank you also for getting me that declaration. I had had the time to review it now, and many of the things that you said that were in it are in fact in the agreement, so I appreciate you getting that to me. Thank you. Any other question, any other questions?
Just need to verify my questions. I'm on you based on the number. Thank you, Commissioner Knight. So of the 71, when you send your report, can we have the list of where the current 71 are located?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Can you verify?
Mr. Stamps.
Yes, sir. I was just saying that my question did not get answered relative to the placement under felons. And the research that went into.
Vice Chair, and I do appreciate your comments. As I mentioned earlier, and I think I should probably restate, when I mentioned that general locations haven't been determined, the data informs where we deploy these cameras, and we certainly know the circumstances that would lead to a location being identified. What I meant to say was the exact intersection and the exact pole has not yet been determined. That is part of a more detailed process. So generally speaking, we know what the data shows us about relative crime patterns, investigative need, and all the like. But what I meant to say was, and I thank you for the opportunity to clarify, is we haven't identified those exact locations that would then require significant conversation and installation and permitting and all that stuff.
I did not ask for pole or beam or intersection. I specifically said communities.
We have very geographic spread on our camera systems. They are not centrally located in any one particular area of the county. They are all over the place, and when I share with you the locations that are currently installed, that will reflect that reality.
Thank you. Thank you.
So is it going to be mostly? Okay.
Still did have help coordinator.
It's a perfect, yes.
One day, will you let us know?
When the locations are determined in their place,
Correct.
certainly.
All right, thank you. Any other commissioners with any other questions? Seeing none, I thank the Sheriff's Office for the testimony today. On the item, Commissioner Daly moves to approve item 261043. It's a proposed contract requesting authorization from the Chief Procurement Officer to enter into and execute a contract with Insight Public Sector, Chandler, Arizona, to allow continuation of services and increase the number of stationary automated license plate readers. Seconded by Commissioner Britton. Roll call.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Aguilar, you vote.
Aye.
Commissioner Ryan. Aye. Commissioner Ryan is no. Commissioner Aguilar is aye. Commissioner Britton.
Aye.
Commissioner Britton is aye. Commissioner Daly. Commissioner Daly is aye. Commissioner Degnan. Commissioner Degnan is aye. Commissioner Taylor is absent. Commissioner Ryan.
Aye.
Commissioner Ryan is aye. Commissioner Castle.
Castle aye.
Commissioner Castle is aye. Commissioner Miller. Miller aye. Commissioner Miller is aye. Commissioner Marino.
Mary's aye.
Commissioner Reed is aye. Commissioner Kevin Morrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Kevin Morrison is aye. Commissioner Sean Morrison.
Sean Morrison.
Commissioner Sean Morrison is aye. Commissioner Scott.
Aye.
Yes, stand.
Vice Chair Stamps.
No.
Good, good. Hold your ground.
Commissioner
Hold your ground.
Aye.
Trevor is aye. Commissioner Vasquez.
Hold your ground.
Commissioner Vasquez is no.
Hold your ground.
Aye.
Mr. Chair is
Of course.
Chair. We have 13.
Three
No.
right, you do front, you show to the ends.
Despite the division, the motion carries. On the next item, Commissioner Bill Lowry will move to approve item 1199. This is a resolution in support of the Illinois Senate Bill 2801 and House Bill 4471. Commissioner Lowry. Thank you, Chairman.
Your product, and there is language change.
So I'd like to move as amended. We would like to move the item as amended 261199, a resolution in support of the Illinois Senate Bill 2801, moved by Commissioner Lowry, second by Commissioner Daly. Commissioner Lowry. Thank you, Chair. I'd like to briefly address this item 26-1199, resolution in support of Senate Bill 28, Illinois Senate 2801 and House Bill 4471. Our laws have drawn a line against machine guns, recognizing their devastating capacity for harm. Yet today, that line is being dangerous to deal with. With the addition of a small device referred to as a switch, which is no larger than a gun, a semi-automatic handgun, which can be transformed into a weapon capable of firing up to 1,200 rounds in a day. A concealable firearm converting the second to unleash chaos for moments, placing entire communities at risk, overwhelming even the most prepared first responders. These are not hypothetical threats. They're real, present dangers that we've seen play out throughout neighborhoods in Cook County and this country. There's evidence that certain manufacturers have long been aware that some of their products can easily be modified, yet those firearms continue to be produced and sold without significant safeguards. That is why Illinois Senate Bill 2801 and House Bill 4471 are not only necessary, they are responsible. This resolution is about prevention. This resolution is about responsibility, and most importantly, this resolution is about saving lives. Here in Cook County, we refuse to accept gun violence as inevitable. We choose action. We choose common sense, and we choose to stand on the fight of public safety. We urge the Illinois General Assembly to move swiftly in passing these bills because every day is a risk we simply cannot afford. Thank you, Commissioner Lowry. Any questions on this item? Seeing no questions on this item, roll call.
Chairman, Commissioner Aguilar.
Aye.
Commissioner Iron. Aye. Commissioner Britton.
Aye.
Commissioner Daly. Commissioner Damon. Aye. Commissioner Commissioner Gainer. Absent. Commissioner Williams.
Lowry's aye.
Commissioner Pascal. Pascal, aye. Commissioner Miller. Miller, aye. Commissioner Morita. Morita, aye. Commissioner Kevin Morrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Sean Morrison. Sean Morrison, aye. Previous bills for all aye. Commissioner Scott.
Aye.
Commissioner Stamps.
Aye.
Commissioner Trevor. Aye. Commissioner Vasquez.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
Chairman 16 is next one absent, vote 3.
Item passes. Commissioner Sean Morrison will move to approve item 260553. This is a proposed intergovernmental agreement to allow the state, the county, and the city to continue to share relevant data as part of the Government Alliance for Safe Communities, GASC, efforts to streamline matrix, investments, and analyze the local impact of community violence intervention strategies in Cook County, seconded by Commissioner Scott Britton. Is Alvin Johnson today? Someone from JC want to speak on this item?
All right, I'll be out, man.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, Ali Audit, Deputy Director.
Can you speak on this item? Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. This is an intergovernmental agreement that's a data use agreement, a data sharing agreement between Cook County Justice Advisory Council, the Illinois Department of Health Services, Human Services, the Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, and the Chicago Department of Public Health. Altogether, we comprise the Government Alliance for Safe Communities, coordinating our investments in community violence intervention grants. This data sharing agreement allows us to, one, help continue coordinating where our dollars go to make sure that, our various government dollars are spread where the need is across the region. And two, also allow us to evaluate the impact of our work with our research partner at Northwestern Corners. So all the data we share is an aggregate. There's no personal identifying information. It's about the reach of CBI grantees. I'll stop there for any questions.
All right, thank you, Ali. Commissioner
Thank you, Chair. So, the two words data sharing are trigger words for me.
Sure.
I just want us to, just pause and just, if you can just highlight what is being shared, because what I'm understanding is not gonna be personal information or any of that. So can you just make sure that you clarify for the record what is being shared?
Sure, it is aggregate reach of our various community violence intervention grantees. So for example, the number of individuals served, the number of individuals between certain age brackets served, 18 to 24, 24 to 30, et cetera. Like the number of individuals coming from different zip codes, all to ensure that we're reaching individuals where the need is in terms of like shooting rates, gun homicide rates, et cetera. So no, there's no information about a specific individual. All the information that's transmitted is numbers related to different sort of breakouts.
So it's, capturing impact, or is it capturing where the funds are going? Is it at the beginning end basically, or is it at the tail end? Or-
It's capturing where the reach of the CVI grantees are. Then that gets fed into our research organization to help determine if that's laying across the need correctly.
Or maybe who the research institution is?
That's for Corners, the Center for Neighbor, yeah,
The overall.
impact evaluation.
Any other questions from any other commissioners? Seeing no other questions from any other commissioners, roll call.
Thanks, sir.
Aye.
Commissioner Ryan. Aye. Commissioner Britton.
Aye.
Commissioner Daly.
Aye.
Commissioner Britton. Aye. Previous votes were all, Commissioner Daniel. Absent Commissioner Lori.
Aye.
Commissioner Cassidy.
Capital I.
Commissioner Miller.
Aye.
Commissioner Maria. Aye. Previous votes were all aye. Commissioner Kelly Morrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly Morrison. John Morrison. Commissioner Scott. And Vice Chair Stamps.
Aye.
Commissioner Trevor.
Aye.
Commissioner Vasquez.
Aye.
Mr. Sheeran.
Aye.
16 ayes, 1 absent, no Commissioner Daly.
Item passes with no other further business before this commission. Commissioner Tar Stamps moves to adjourn the meeting and seconded by Commissioner Scott. All those in favor of adjournment, please say
Thank you very much. Are we on this one?
aye. You're right. Ruined my record.
Maybe I should ask my commissioner if she will have plate. You want your plate, Commissioner? You good on that food?
There's now we're having made 11 a.m. I'd like to call the King County Audit Committee to order. And Secretary Lee, please call the roll. Commissioner Nunley. Commissioner Britton. Commissioner Taylor. Commissioner Gainer.
So, yeah.
Absent Commissioner Lori. Commissioner Castle.
Present.
Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Commissioner Moore.
Present.
Commissioner Maria.
No.
Maria present. Commissioner Kevin Morrison.
Brother.
Commissioner Sean Morrison. Commissioner Scott. Commissioner Stinks.
Present.
Commissioner Trevor. Commissioner Vasquez. Madam Chair is present. Madam Chair, you have a quorum, one participating remotely and absent for Commissioner Gainer there in the quorum. Yes, please. I'd like to, make a motion to allow her participation.
So, Chair.
Second by Daly. Roll call, Commissioner Aguilar, your vote.
Aye.
Commissioner Ryan. Aye. Commissioner Britton.
Aye.
Commissioner Daly. Commissioner Gainer is absent. Commissioner Lori.
Aye.
Commissioner McCaskill. Aye. Commissioner Miller. Commissioner Miller is absent. Commissioner Moore. Commissioner Moore is absent. Commissioner Rita. Moore, aye. Commissioner Kevin Morrison. Commissioner John Morrison. Commissioner Scott. Commissioner Stamps.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner? Aye. Commissioner Vasquez? Aye. Madam Chair? Aye. Madam Chair, 14-3, absent for this would be Gainer, Miller, Moore.
Opinion of the chairs, ayes have it. I'd like to recess this, committee to the call of the chair. Okay, then, the hour having reached 11:15 a.m., I'd like to call, the Environment and Sustainability Committee to order. Will you please call the roll?
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Britton?
Here.
Commissioner Miller? Is absent. Commissioner Marita?
Thank you.
Commissioner Marita?
Marita present, sorry.
Marita is present, participating remotely. Commissioner Kevin Morrison?
Kevin Morrison here.
Commissioner Trevor? Here. Commissioner Vasquez?
Here.
And Madam Chair, Madam Chair, you have one participating remotely and one absent for Commissioner Miller.
I'd like to move to allow formal participation. Moved by Lowry, seconded by, moved by, Commissioner Britton, seconded by Commissioner Evans.
Commissioner Britton, you vote, sorry.
Aye.
Commissioner Miller? Is absent. Commissioner Marita, you're voting. Commissioner Kevin Morrison?
Kevin Morrison, aye.
Commissioner Trevor? Aye. Commissioner Vasquez? Aye. Madam Chair?
Aye.
And your vote is 6, aye, 1 present vote for Commissioner.
Chair, I have it. I'd like to recess the call of the chair and then, return to the audit committee, please. Okay, thank you. Do we have any public speakers?
At your recess meeting, you have all members present with the exception of an absent for Commissioner, Gainer. You do have public speakers walk in. Please be reminded of the public speaking rules. You have 3 minutes to address the body. Docket time for you in this order. George Whitmore, Jessica Johnson, I don't see present. Tyron Sims, I don't see present. And Zoe Lee. You may begin.
It's an audit committee. So I guess, with planning. Previously. I heard the commissioner that this thing. I'm challenging them to communicate with your, comrade. Because you were straight on the point. And you should have approached them earlier. And if you did, and if they didn't, want to support you, you should have gone directly to the community. Directly to the community. This other lady over here is just, what is he talking about? Directly to us. And let us know. Cause we could have helped you. I couldn't believe it when he said, it was no, you asked for a designated, where were you gonna place these cameras? All right then, Mr. Blakemore, where are you gonna place these cameras? Most likely in the Black community, get revenue, cause they're doing it now. They're doing it now. So, let us not be disconnected, Black folks. Let us work together and help each other and help our people. Don't be disconnected. You should have come to the community. That was outrageous when they had this count. Please let us work with you, sister. Please let us know what's going on. And we would have came down here and surely would have protested this. These cameras in the past is racism is still alive. Stop it. They place these cameras in mostly these Black communities for revenue. Oh yes. And in the future, I have no permanent friends and no permanent enemies. All we do is have each other. We got to stop fighting each other. You don't see no other ethnic group doing that but us. We got to come together here to move the needle, to help our people. We must become selfish. Where she asked a simple question, where are you gonna place these cameras? And then over there just looking and smiling at me. Is something wrong here? We should never be disconnected. We should never be disconnected. Never! We're gonna place them in the black neighborhood to get revenue.
Hi, my name is Zoe Lee. I'm the founder of Chicago Flips Red. I want to play something real quick to Ms. Stamps, just so she can understand. I never came at you ever, never was disrespectful to you or anything, but you brought our name up. And I don't know why. And since then, it's been an issue, but I don't have no issue with you. I just would like an apology because I don't know why you would bring up my name, especially when we're dealing with a violence crisis in our communities. And you just spoke about it, and I agree with everything that you said. And they need to give you the data just on respect because you're coming from Cabrini Green. Now,
If you're gonna play a recording, we don't have permission.
what do you mean?
We don't have permission from the author.
How do y'all have permission to steal people money all day?
I'm sorry.
Y'all have permission?
You can speak as long as you
Well,
want.
they play the recorder at the city, they don't stop it.
Yeah, where does that say that? Yeah,
Yeah.
it don't do that. Anyway, all right, anyway, at the end of the day,
Thank you.
at the end of the day, yeah, you know what you said on that, October 17th, 2025. The National Guard, we have an active genocide going on in our communities. Okay, we do, okay? And no one cares about it. The Republicans here don't care about it. Sean Morrison don't care about it. That's why I would never back Darren Bailey and Aaron Del Mar. But I'm definitely not backing J.B. Pritzker, the eminent domain man. Okay? The reason why I came down here, and I've been coming down here because of what the federal judge just said on Monday about it's unconstitutional, honestly, to take people's property for property tax and not get an equity. But the crazy thing is, my property wasn't even taken because of property taxes. Yeah, it was knocked down because you guys were trying to take the because it was in a TIF zone, and y'all gonna continue to give it to Quackenbush, Richard Daley's butt. So at the end of the day, this is just what happens. You should give me my minutes back for what you did, but you don't care. But anyway,
Granted.
as a group, we should not be like this. If you love this city, if you from the South Side and you see what Brandon Johnson is doing, he's literally trying to take the South Side from us. Literally trying to take the South Side from us. And she's not going to, and of course she's not going to agree with it because she's his lapdog. So that's just what it is. You heard me? First Amendment, baby.
What?
First Amendment, baby. Like I said, y'all like that. And I love that y'all keep going back and forth with me because y'all know y'all wrong. Y'all know you ignorant. You been ignorant. You ignorant like them braids.
Please.
You ignorant. You been ignorant.
Zoe Lee, you have to address the violence.
She's talking. She's talking and you're not saying nothing. You're not saying nothing and she's talking, Chairman. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, respect me like you want me to respect y'all. And if you're not, I'm going to continue to come down here and expose y'all until the federal government comes in and do this forensic audit. Because y'all ain't got no money because y'all been stealing it. So that's why they don't respect you and they're going to make sure that they continue to do what they do. Because you an idiot.
Okay.
Nothing at all. First Amendment right. Call Tribune.
I move to approve the committee minutes of January 14th, 2026 meeting, item number 26-1401.
Thank you. Moved by Commissioner Morrison, seconded by Commissioner Nye. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Any hand raised? Oh, yes, Commissioner Stan.
Madam Chair, when we open committee meetings,
Yes.
the secretary of the board articulates the behavior, the decorum that's asked for the meeting. My question is, at what point does that get enforced?
When you stop talking when I'm talking,
When under
because it's on this
what
video right here.
idiot is being called.
You called me ignorant.
So your time is
All
up.
under First
Time is
Amendment rights, and further, that there is word about not interrupting, not speaking from, there are all of these rules, and my question is, at what point do we enforce the words that are coming out, that governs the body, this space?
You call me ignorant.
I do think that is a legal determination about when you move from having your First Amendment right for discussion, your First Amendment right to be heard. There's a lot of case law on that nationally about when that turns into harassment and intimidation, and then when that person needs to be removed. So I think that's a legal determination that our parliamentarian would have to make, and so we can definitely have a further and larger conversation about that. I think that's a good question, and I think that that's a determination that I would rely on the legal counsel for. Is that fair?
That's fair, who's the parliamentarian,
Laura, please.
or like, what's the parliamentarian? And thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for understanding my First Amendment.
Where were we? Commissioner Ida, 1134? Yes. Commissioner Anaya, were you thinking of motion for this?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I'd like to move to receive and file item 26-1134 to the ARPA investing in families and youth review.
Thank you. Moved by Commissioner Anaya, seconded by Commissioner Britton. This item is Office of the County Auditors ARPA review of NT 900. It was a reporting period that's been reviewed from November 1st, 2022 to November 30th of 24. It really just, the report evaluates the monitoring process over the county's utilization of these funds. Our auditor is Heath Wolf, and he's here to talk about this audit here today. Heath?
Good afternoon, Madam. Good afternoon, Madam Chair. My name is Heath Wolf. Good afternoon, Commissioners, Madam Chair. My name is Heath Wolf. I'm with the Office of the County Auditor. As you indicated, we conducted a ARPA review of the investing in families and youth NT 900. The objectives of our review were to evaluate the monitoring process over the utilization of ARPA funds for the program and to determine if program funds were used as intended. Overall, we determined that based upon our review, we concluded that the monitoring process over the utilization of ARPA funds was adequate and program funds were used as intended. We did make 3 observations. The first was regarding the time tracking supervisor attestation forms were submitted late by the Bureau of Economic Development. In all due fairness to them, what the Bureau of Economic Development did was more robust than the county's requirements. And while technically they didn't follow the requirements, what they did was more robust. And we acknowledge that in our report. The other 2 recommendations or 2 observations, excuse me, that we made is the gov grants risk assessment or reassessment by the DBMS. We found that DBMS did not automatically trigger the required reassessment of this program following a contract amendment. And then the other observation that we had attributable to DBMS is they approved an advancement that exceeded 50% of the recorded fiscal year budget. In all fairness to DBMS on that, they advanced 51%, and technically the requirements limit to 50%. But again, overall, we found that the program was monitored correctly and that the program funds were used correctly. Any questions from the commissioners?
They respond.
The Bureau of Economic Development did provide management comments. So just as a reference and a reminder to the audit committee on every draft report that the Office of the County Auditor issues as of since I joined the office last year, we issue a draft report for technical comments and we issue a draft for management comments. neither, the Bureau of Economic Development or, DBMS, provided technical comments. The Bureau of Economic Development did provide, management comments, which are included in their entirety in the final report. The DBMS did not provide any management comments.
We know why they didn't respond.
I do not remember, I apologize for that, Chair.
Are they online so they can answer why they didn't respond? Yes, this is Kanapo Shibamasto, Oversight County's Budget Director. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for the question. Budget Office did not provide any additional comments, given that we have worked with the auditors and teams, for, the last several weeks, and we are in agreement with what has been reported. I believe that the auditor report provides a good summary of our discussion and what we have shared. And we did not find that additional, comments were necessary at this point. Thank you. Commissioner Dickey.
Sure, but I think it's noteworthy thing, you indicated in recent that Bez was, they were more robust
Yes, sir.
than the guidelines from the federal government.
Yes, sir.
That says a lot about them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds good. The motion on the floor is to receive and file. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Oh, I said a roll call.
Moved by Commissioner Nye, second by Commissioner Aguilar, votes for. Commissioner Aguilar is absent. Commissioner Nye. Aye. Commissioner Britton.
Aye.
Commissioner Daly.
Aye.
Commissioner Gainer, absent. Commissioner Lawrence.
Aye.
Commissioner McMaster. McMaster, aye. Commissioner Miller.
Miller, aye.
Commissioner Moore. Absent. Commissioner Maria.
Moore, aye.
Commissioner Kevin Morrison.
Aye.
Previous votes were all aye. Commissioner Sean Morrison. Aye. Commissioner Scott. Was absent. Commissioner Simmons. Aye. Commissioner Trevor. Aye. Commissioner Vasquez. Aye. Madam Chair.
Aye.
Madam Chair, you have 13 ayes, 4 absent. They are Aguilar, Gainer, Moore, and Scott.
Thank you. And then the chair, the ayes have it. I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn that is moved by Commissioner Vasquez, seconded by Commissioner Stamps. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Those nay, in the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you. I'll now make a motion to recall the Environment Sustainability Committee, please.
Madam Chair. All of them.
Of course, we are not going to recall environment sustainability. What we're going to do is allow Commissioner Morrison to call this committee. To recall all committees.
Give you a minute, please. We're going to call all of them that time has progressed. And so, environmental is holding for a second.
It is.
We're gonna go to the map, please.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. The hour having reached past 11:30 a.m., I'd like to call to order the Cook County Finance Subcommittee and Workers' Compensation. Madam Secretary, please take the call.
Thank you, Commissioner Pascal. Commissioner Maria. Commissioner Reed is present, participating remotely. Commissioner Trevor. Here. Commissioner Vasquez. Present. And Chairman is present. Chairman, you do have a form. When we return, we will need remote participation.
I agree with, we will recess meeting and call.
Human Relations, 1 o'clock.
At the time of 1 o'clock, and we coming on, I would like to call the Human Relations Committee.
Commissioner Naya. Present. Yes, thank you. Commissioner Pascal. Commissioner Miller. Here. Thank you. Commissioner Stamps. Commissioner Trevor. Commissioner Vasquez. Present. And Mr. Chairman is present. You do have a form of the reserve.
And we do have, can I call for remote participation now or only? Okay, the Human Relations Committee, will stand in recess for the call of the chair. With that, and time of 1:10 having coming on, I would like to call the Technology and Innovation Committee to order. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Thank you, Commissioner Aguilar.
Here.
Commissioner Bregman. Present. Commissioner McCaskill. Present. Commissioner Miller. Here. Commissioner, Vice Chair Morrison. Sean Morrison.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Scott. Scott is present. Okay, thank you. Commissioner Trevor. Commissioner Vasquez. Mr. Chairman is present. You do have a quorum, sir. All members are present.
All members are present, the Technology and Innovation Committee will stand in recess from call to adjourn. Thank you.
Asset management, 1:30. Thank you, Madam Secretary. The hour of 1:30 has arrived. I'd like to call the Cook County Asset Management Committee meeting in order. You know, you take the roll. Thank you. Commissioner Aguilar.
Here.
Commissioner Naya. Commissioner Burton. Here. Commissioner Deckman. Commissioner is present. Commissioner Castle. Present. Commissioner Moore is absent. Commissioner Kevin Morrison.
Present.
Commissioner John Morrison.
Present.
And Madam Chair is present. You do have a quorum. I'm not being present with the exception of the absence of Commissioner Moore. Thank you. We sent to the public there. The hour of 1:30. Check out contract compliance. Yes, that's amazing. The hour of 1:35 having arrived. I'd like to put out the Cook County Contract Compliance Committee meeting order to take the roll. Commissioner Aguilar.
Here.
Commissioner Nugget. Is absent. We enter the Commissioner Deckman. Commissioner Warren. Commissioner Casco. Present. Commissioner Moore
Here.
is absent. Commissioner Kevin Morrison.
Kevin Morrison here.
Thank you, Commissioner Scott. Commissioner Stevens. Present. Commissioner Vasquez. Present. Thank you, Madam Chair is present. You do have a form, the members did not respond. Commissioner Naya, Commissioner Laurie, and Commissioner. Thank you, we'll be sent to the public hearing.
Yes, they are. Okay, thank you. First, I would like to call the Cook County Environment Sustainability Committee back to order. And the secretary will still have the quorum.
You do have a quorum at your recess meeting, all members were present. We had an absence for Commissioner Miller, but she will be added to the roll. You have a remote participant, Commissioner Marita, and that roll call has also been established.
Okay. Do we have any public speakers or changes to the agenda?
And then speakers that were registered in this order, and remember the rules for public speaking. They are, let's see, George Claiborne, Jessica Jackson is not present, Taiwan Sims is not present, and Zoe Lee. So George and then Zoe in that order, please, and the number will be time for 3 minutes to ask the question.
Your environment is very important. You're so safe there. You can judge the person of the company. Your environment, a toxic environment. And you know, all the waste go there from all the broad and you also go there. You pour it on. Toxic environment is toxic here. The environment here is toxic. It's a one-party system. All Democrats. It's just like you have a home and a family, and you have all women and no women and no children and no community, no aunties and mamas and aunties and grandmas. Not a family. It's toxic. I'm putting myself in harm's way. Now, Chairman, you have a public speaker. Don't forget about that attorney. You're supposed to be carrying on this committee with us. Turn around here. I'll accept your apology. You are the chairman. And you must act like the chairman. Why would I have to reach out and holler? Stop it. You talk to that attorney over here. That's not your business. It's not time for you all to dialogue with each other. You now have a member from the public here. And you're over this committee. You didn't set a very good example. While I was talking, you turned to this attorney, started talking to her and that other judge. Why would you do this? You don't respect me or you don't respect your position. Which one? Maybe both. Maybe both. Environmental toxic. I had to holler loud. I said, Miss, turn around. What you been doing talking to that lawyer over there? What's he doing interrupting you? The whole environment is toxic. They'll get the sheriff to throw me out like I'm a criminal. You all are toxic here. Truly toxic.
Speakers or
Damn. Nothing wrong with me.
Yeah, and the whole environment is toxic. This whole Cook County environment is toxic. The hypocrisy is out of control. The hypocrisy in this room is hilarious. Like, it's honestly, like, I graduated from Second City. Like, I could do a whole script on how incompetent y'all are. She just called me ignorant right here. She just called, it's on my fans see it. She just called me ignorant. She went to the Chicago Tribune, but she was on a video October 17th and said, them flip red people. No, I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. Tell Trump we don't need him here. Send us the money. Why? So y'all can continue to steal it? Because that's all y'all do? So far, it's looking like the West Side cares nothing about the South Side. That's why she's gonna ride to the dark with an idiot of a mayor that we have First Amendment. And I guess I gotta keep saying First Amendment. Because y'all clearly don't know what the First Amendment. I'm not threatening nobody. I'm not harming anybody. I can speak as long as I want to when it comes to my First Amendment. I already have a lawsuit against $1 Million Tony, the city of Chicago, for violating my the Open Public Meetings Act. Also, the Monell claim went through of the retaliation between the Cook County and the city. So the attorney over there understands that there's nothing that she could do unless I am physically hurting her or threatening her in any type of way, and I'm not. I'm telling her the uncomfortable truth about herself.
1 minute.
And she started it. She started it. Just like Samantha Steele, whatever her name is, said what she said to that police officer. And she just been found not guilty because y'all went and found somebody that was retired, put him back on the stand, gave him a couple of dollars. Y'all don't care about the law. Just how much money somebody got. Y'all don't care about the U.S. Constitution. Y'all don't care about the oath. Y'all don't care about the Bible. Y'all don't care about y'all don't care about going to hell. Y'all don't care about the people. Y'all don't care about anybody but yourself on my First Amendment. That's why I'm going to make sure y'all either resign or go to jail, take the window, take the stairs, but y'all getting up out of office. Ain't no way. I'm 40 years old. We ain't doing politics another 60 years like y'all did. Hell no.
And that concludes the speakers. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Mr. Brickman, please come to the minutes.
I move approval of the minutes from the January 14th, 2026 meeting, item 26-142.
Thank you. Moved by Commissioner Britton, seconded by Commissioner Trevor. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay, and the opinion of the chair, that is have it. Commissioner Miller, will you please motion for the next item?
Yes, I'd like to move item number 26-1239, a proposed resolution to advance to the Chicago area waterway system ecological health.
Thank you. Moved by Commissioner Miller, seconded by Commissioner Kevin Morrison. The item is a proposed resolution titled Resolution to Advance Chicago Area Waterway System Ecological Health. Commissioner Marita, are you online and would you like to discuss this item?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I have the pleasure of serving as a Metropolitan Water Reclamation District Commissioner for 6 years prior to joining the board, and have worked with a lot of my fellow colleagues at MWRD, including Commissioner Cam Davis, to bring some of these items and integrate them into what we're doing at the county. I had the pleasure of the pleasure of being back at URC recently, to recognize
Commissioner Murray, yeah.
the new executive director, John Murray. And it kind of revived some conversation about, what more we can be doing between the county and MWRD. I know we've paid a lot of attention, to the issues around the Great Lakes that hold 90% of the US water supply, 20% of the world's fresh surface water. And wanted to highlight also, the importance of the Chicago area waterways, also known as the cause. I'm so excited to have my former colleague, Cameron Davis, from MWRD to talk further about this resolution, here at the board today.
Thank you. I would like to request leave of this body to allow for MWRD Commissioner Kim Davis to speak to this item. Leave granted. Leave is granted. Commissioner Davis is joining us remotely. Welcome, Commissioner, and thank you for joining us today. Please speak on this item.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Degnan, and thanks to my former colleague at MWRD, Commissioner Marita, for your interest in this, and thanks to all of you, my friends in that room. I do plan to join you tomorrow morning in person, and instead of just giving comments like I will tomorrow, I wanted to give you not a formal presentation, but just a little bit of history behind this resolution and why it's so important to our entire county, our entire metro region. As many of you know, the Chicago River system has had what we call legacy pollutants in it for generations and generations and generations, that are pollutants that were discharged long ago, decades ago, and have fallen down to the bottom of our river system, called the Chicago Area Waterway System, the CAWS or CAWS, where the pollutants have essentially sat for decades, if not generations. The problem with many of these pollutants is that they don't just stay there out of sight, out of mind, out of reality. They tend to recycle themselves through the food chain and especially impact subsistence anglers who rely on fishing as an inexpensive food source for themselves and their families. So even though these pollutants were discharged generations ago, they still make themselves known, they still make themselves present, and they still present a tremendous public health threat to the entire metro region. The great thing is that one of the federal agencies, actually two federal agencies, are proposing to take the lead in identifying where these toxic hotspots are and coming up with plans to address them at long last. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the U.S. EPA. And they proposed to start this process with 100% federal funded lead. One of the things that's really important is that we show our support to these federal agencies, especially at this time when we're seeing federal cutbacks in our environmental programs, our budgets, and our staffing, and show that we, as what are called non-federal sponsors, are concerned about this. We want to partner with our federal agency friends, and we want to stop kicking these ecological threats, if not economic threats, recreation threats, and so on down the road. So one of the things that I did with my team is we crafted a resolution, and I'm much appreciative of my colleagues on the board who passed this resolution unanimously last year. And that is very much mirrored in the resolution you see now that's intended to document, to show support for the cleanup of the Chicago River. Now, I know many of you have districts that encompass parts of the Chicago area waterway system. That can be the North Branch or the North Shore Channel, the main stem that flows, that connects the Lake Michigan through the Locks by Navy Pier, the South Branch. the Illinois, the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal, the CalSag Channel, the list goes on. And each one of those stretches of waterway have smaller pieces, such as Public Creek, the Collateral Channel, places around Goose Island, and so on, that are iconic places in your district. Even if you don't have a district that encompasses part of the Chicago area waterway system, when we have a clean, healthy Chicago area waterway system, those benefits accrue to everybody, every single resident of Cook County. That's why we offered the resolution that passed unanimously on WRD. We worked with the city of Chicago to pass a similar resolution earlier this year. And that's why it's really been a privilege to work with you all, especially Commissioner Marita, to come up with this resolution for your consideration. So why don't I leave it at that? And I'm also happy to answer questions if there are any.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Seeing no questions by our board, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and for your work on the health of Chicago's waterways and keeping them clean. And that will bring us to the motion on the floor is to approve this. All in favor, we have roll call. Roll call, please. This is roll call for item number 1239, moved by Commissioner Miller, second by Commissioner Kevin Wilson. Commissioner Britton Wilson.
Aye.
Commissioner Britton's aye. Commissioner Miller. Aye. Commissioner Miller is aye. Commissioner Moore, Marita. Commissioner Moore, aye. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. Commissioner Kevin Morrison. Commissioner Kevin Morrison, not in the room. Absent. Commissioner Trevor. Aye. Commissioner Trevor. Commissioner Vasquez. Aye. Commissioner Vasquez is aye. Madam Chair. Aye. Madam Chair, you are aye. There's 6 ayes, 1 absent vote for Commissioner Kevin Morrison. Thank you. And the chair, the ayes have it. We'll now entertain a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Vasquez, seconded by Commissioner Piper. All of you signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays, and the chair, the ayes have it. Thank you. We are adjourned.
We would recall the Cook County Workers' Compensation Subcommittee.
Chairman, at your recession, only was present, there is a form, you can require a remote participation from commission.
Make a motion to allow members not in person to participate remotely, moved by Commissioner Vasquez and or Commissioner Trevor. Thank you. I'm looking at my notes here, it's throwing me off.
Thank you, Mr. Vasquez, Commissioner Trevor, to participate, to do remote participation. So McCaskill is, McCaskill, have you connected? Commissioner McCaskill is absent. Commissioner Marina. Marina present. Commissioner Marina is present, participating remotely. Commissioner McCarthy. Here. Thank you. Commissioner Vasquez.
I'm present.
Thank you. And Chairman is present.
Yes.
Chairman, you do have one member present, I'm sorry, one member absent. Commissioner McCaskill.
Excellent. Madam Secretary, any public speakers or changes to the agenda?
You have 2 public speakers still in the room. I am not aware of any changes to your agenda. Please be reminded of the public speaking rules. You have 3 minutes to address the body. Your Blakemore is present as well as the lead.
Thank you. Workman compensation. When a worker of the county should be compensated if they have an injury or anything. But what I was told several years ago, that some of these lawyers, someone from the, I forget his name, it was a Roger. We have 2 Rogers. One is historical with his family during the great from Tulsa. Harry Rogers, so two Rogers, I get these Rogers mixed up. But one, this Rogers that work here, they say he gets all of the workman compensation cases, all of them. And that other Rogers is the cream of the crop. He came from Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I get these Rogers, I shouldn't get them mixed up. They got the same name or something similar, but they're totally different. One is clad. The other one is milking the system. He works for the system and he has a law firm. And it's been a rumor, and it's true, that everybody that fall or slip down with some water over at the counter, whatever, fall off a chair or whatever, go to him. And then he wins the case. So workman compensation. Did you know that's why some of them, they don't like Miss Wade, when you look so bad, you need to shave and your hair all out. You look like death. Death coming to everybody. See, I have a history here. I go back a long ways here to the dailies, all the way back to old man Stroger's son, on back even farther. History. That's what makes me a unique citizen when I get up and speak. I know where you're coming from, Miss Lynn. The first lady of the church. The church has been a whoring bride of Christ. A religious person, a real first lady, would treat you very nice and dignified. Oh, yes. I'm not the one. I am not the one. So again, if I have exceeded my minutes, please don't call the sheriff to throw me out. Look over here talking. But what? Stay away from this lawyer. Stay away from her. Y'all done gone crazy. Sit down and stay away from her. Lord have mercy, what's going on here? Leave her alone. That's not the time to talk to her. Well, sit up disrespect. And he's still doing it.
Since we have an attorney, we got a few attorneys here. So I'm not sure if they take the bar, and because they don't know any of the law. But Monday, a federal judge ruled that Cook County is liable to pay back millions of dollars to people who lost their homes in the county's annual property tax sale, 3 years after U.S. Supreme Court ruled the system unconstitutional. Now, the city of Chicago unlawfully demolished my family's building that was paid off. No reverse mortgages, no delinquent taxes, all the equity down. So as an attorney, what does that mean? Does anybody know? Oh, okay. They just knocked down all my equity, all of it. No property taxes, but you, Commissioner Morrison, the only Republican that's here, have heard me come down here for 3 years. You know I have a brand, Chicago Foot's Red. You follow it. I can't get you to sit down and talk about the property theft in our communities. Because you can't, because they say you meet with Tony Preckwinkle every week for lunch. So if you do that, and she is the one who's stealing our properties, and with the help, because she bought her $1 million home through the land bank, which I don't know how that's even possible. But, y'all do whatever y'all want to do. What makes you think I'm going to get behind anybody that you are aligned with? And that's Aaron Del Mar. Why? When he lied to me, why would we get behind Darren Bailey? Like, we got a active genocide crisis going on in our communities. We have a property theft crisis going on in this Chicago, and we can't get no help from either side. I'm done with them. They are done. But what makes you think that I'm going to deal with the established Republicans here who are exactly like them? No. That's why we got to revamp it all. Y'all all got to go because y'all don't care. Y'all all work together. And if we continue to let y'all stay in these seats, we are not gonna have anything, no generational wealth, nothing. We're just gonna have statues, because that's what y'all usually do anyway. So just wanted to let you know that, Commissioner Morrison. Peace.
Thank you. The chair will now entertain a motion to approve item number 26 one. I'm sorry, Commissioner McCaskill. Yes, thank you. Commissioner McCaskill?
I will leave that on remote. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, the chair will now entertain a motion to approve item number 26-1487, which is the minutes of the meeting of April 14th, 2026. Moved by Commissioner Trevor and seconded by Commissioner Marino. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. The opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. To Ms. Flowers or any of our colleagues, is there any need for us to go into executive session? Flowers, any of our colleagues, hearing none. Okay, the chair will now entertain a motion to approve the settlements as recommended by the state attorney's office and under the guidance we will each item number. Item 26-1200, 26-1330, 26-1119, 26-1355, 26-1332, 26-1338, 26-1328, 26-1334, 26-1314, 26-1250, 26-1252, 26-1377, 26-1358. Those are moved by Commissioner Trevor, seconded by Commissioner Marita. Is there any discussion? We need a roll call. Those.
We need those guys in the room.
Let's go this here.
Thank you.
Everyone's here.
Thank you. Yes, it is a roll call.
Roll call vote, please.
On the motion, Commissioner Mascaro, your vote, please.
McCaskill, aye.
Commissioner McCaskill is aye. Commissioner Marina.
Marina, aye.
Commissioner Marina is aye. Commissioner Trevor. Aye. Commissioner Trevor is aye. Commissioner Vasquez.
Aye.
Commissioner Vasquez is aye. Chairman.
Everyone's aye.
Chairman, is aye. Previous votes are all aye. 5 ayes, 0 nays.
Very good. The opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Settlements are approved. Having no further business, the chair will take a motion to adjourn. So moved by Commissioner Vasquez, seconded by Commissioner Marina. All in favor, say aye. Any discussion? Hearing none. Thank you. That is approved. This meeting is adjourned.
Sorry. Hi, Chair.
Our next meeting is human relations. I got it.
Kevin, I'm right here.
Hi. I would like to call the Human Relations Committee back to order. I believe we had quorum at the time of our recess.
Yes, sir. We do have one, all members were present.
All members are present. Perfect. And with that, is there any need to move for remote participation?
Yes, sir. We have changed, position for Commissioner McCaskill. She is now remote, so let's do remote participation. Roll call.
As the Commissioner Trevor moves for remote participation, seconded by Commissioner Vaz, seconded by Commissioner Aguilar.
It's not on this committee.
Seconded by Commissioner Vasquez, as I intended. Please have a roll call on that.
Thank you, Commissioner Naya, your vote. Commissioner Naya is aye. Commissioner McCaskill.
Aye.
Commissioner McCaskill is aye. Commissioner Miller. Commissioner Miller is absent. Commissioner Stamps. Present. Thank you. Is aye for this participation?
Yeah.
Commissioner Trevor. Aye. Thank you, Commissioner Vasquez. Aye. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 6 ayes, 1 absent for Commissioner Miller.
Motion passes, only 1 absence, and with that, do we have any registered public speakers?
2 present in the room. George Blakemore and someone please be reminded of the public speaking rules. You have 3 minutes to address the room.
Thank you. Chair. The Human Relations. Virginia Bio Lady, everybody, I can go way back with the Human Relations Committee. I thought it would be, if they, I would make complaints. Racial complaints, how human beings relate to each other. Racism. This is a very important, the Human Relations Commission. Then they have this lady, this Hispanic lady, used to be of the Human Relations Commission of the city of Chicago. And she's gone now. Ken Dunn is an actor. And some of the people over there, they was very unhappy with her. Mr. Blakemore, the state human relations, and they try to bar you out of there about 30 or 40 years ago. They good at doing things. Sir, rolling letters, don't let Mr. Blakemore. They got the state human relations, they got the city human relations, they got the county human relations, and all of them are connected. And the illegal immigrants are going filing complaints. And they're not even citizens. Not even citizens. So I'm very astute with government. And a few minutes ago, I was hollering, leave that lady alone. Leave that lawyer lady alone. They should have had enough sense to not bother her while someone from the public is speaking. Y'all don't know me. I've been abused. Not only you being abused, Mr. Blakemore, your black people are being abused by these Hispanics. And not only, don't talk about these Hispanics, these black folks are mean to each other. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Mean to each other. These Hispanics help their people. They work together. Mm-hmm. Sure do. They work together. You wouldn't dare whip one of them around. Never. Sure do. They wouldn't allow it. But you all just as happy as could be when the chef dragged me out. Get on, George Blakemore. Get it. Shut your crazy man down. If I can't read or write, you're supposed to help me. They help their people. They're being empowered. We got black faces in high places selling us out. All right, now your time should have been expired. They help each other.
You're absolutely right, George. The Hispanics, they will stick together, and Asians will, the Jews will. We are the only ones that do not. They gotta find something wrong with something. It's this, it's that. No, like that's why Chicago First Red is here, because all of the y'all racist governor J.B. Pritzker said the other day to Politico that he was proud to slander Lincoln. And we said this is slander Lincoln. And we have had the most black representation coming out of Illinois. Of course, but then in 2008, on an FBI wiretap, he called Secretary of State Jesse White a qualified, vetted African-American. And 10 years later, y'all voted him in. Like, this is the leadership, the Negro leadership we're dealing with in Illinois. Y'all got to go. Ain't no way in the world he should be on his third term when he called Secretary of State Jesse White a qualified, vetted African-American. Like, it's something wrong with y'all. Like, literally, something, but because y'all all are sellouts. Y'all have paid, y'all working for y'all pension, y'all don't care about nobody else but yourselves. And you got this man calling Trump racist all day. What is a qualified vetted African-American? Please, can somebody give me a definition of what a qualified vetted African-American is? J.B. Pritzker said this. Governor J.B. Pritzker on a wiretap. 2008, 10 years later, y'all made him the governor of Illinois. And what does he do? Because he feels bad because he called Jesse White a qualified, vetted African-American. I'm going to go and name this building after him. I'm going to go name this building after him. I'm going to go name this building after him. He called him a qualified vet. That's what y'all are. Qualified vetted African Americans. That's why y'all stay in these seats. That's why y'all can't help nobody else. That's why Chicago Flips Red is here. That's why the world is listening to us. Ain't nobody getting it. Ain't nobody getting that governor seat until somebody talk about the South Side and why they stealing all the property over there because about Lake Michigan and y'all letting it happen because y'all don't care. The elders, y'all going back lying to them in the community meetings, but they listening. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we gotta do better. I'm just saying, y'all gotta repent. We gotta do better. I mean, God forgives. God forgives. So, y'all have the chance to make it right. I don't hold no grudges, but I'm gonna keep talking about the hypocrisy of in the public sector because it's my tax dollar until y'all sit down and figure out how to be public servants. Thank you.
Thank you. And first we have item 26-1429, meeting minutes from our last meeting on January 14th, 2026. Commissioner Anaya moves to approve this item, seconded by Commissioner Stamps. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by voting aye, all opposed nay. And the beginning of the chair, the ayes have it. Next, we have 26-11-13, the 2026 first quarter report from the Department of Human Rights and Ethics. Commissioner, or Vice Chair Trevor, moves to receive and file this item, seconded by Commissioner Anaya. Can we please hear from a representative from the Department of Human Rights and Ethics?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Great. Jennifer King, Director for Cook County's Department of Human Rights and Ethics, here to present our first quarterly report for fiscal year 2026. I do want to note that I'm having connectivity issues, so I cannot connect and drop the report in, but I do have printed copies with me.
Those are good.
Thank you.
All this money. Webs.
Thank you. So to begin, I'll note that the first quarter, of course, covers December 2025 through February of 2026. The total number of inquiries for the first quarter are 260, and the total number of new complaints filed was 112. I also want to note that the total number of cases pending, total active cases pending or investigations for that first quarter was 240. So of the 240, 112 of those account for the 112 of those were new complaints filed, while the others were remaining investigations that remained open from the last fiscal year. I do want to draw attention to the total number of complaints filed in fiscal year 24 and 25, that there was a stark increase from 148 total new complaints filed in FY 24 in comparison to the 321 total new complaints filed in 25. We're kind of monitoring for the next quarter or the current quarter that we're in to see if this will continue on as a trend. The total number of investigations closed for the first quarter were 80. Of those closed, 68 were completed within 180 days, and 18 of those cases were determined to be duplicates. And those include complaints that are substantially similar in terms of the claims that they are made. There's a breakdown of the inquiries of the 280 inquiries for the first quarter. The majority relate to paid leave, with 72 of those inquiries being paid leave. Note that we've added some additional categories to limit the other categorization of inquiries filed here. Some of those include wrong number, which account for 38 of those. And of course, we also have a number of complaints that are or inquiries received in relation to the residential landlord tenant ordinance. Those account for 28 of those inquiries. For the complaints filed by type for the first quarter, the majority are paid leave, employment, and housing, with fairly equal numbers across those three complaint types. And then, of course, we provided a chart of the total new complaints filed by type and those claims or bases of discrimination that were included there. For the paid leave complaints, we've added some additional specificity to our report for this fiscal year. So including the claims or bases of discrimination for some of our common complaint types. But first, if you will look at page 12 at the bottom, there's paid leave complaints filed. The bases or the claims in relation to those complaints are kind of span the gambit there, but the majority of them, or the most common claim that was made, is in relation to the failure to use accrued paid leave as required by the ordinance, with 17 claims made for those complaints that were filed in the first quarter. And of the housing complaints filed, also kind of across the board, and note that people can include multiple claims or multiple bases of discrimination in the complaints that are filed. But of those, the majority were housing, or the most common housing status, with 5 bases or 5 complaints, including that bases, followed closely behind by national origin, race, retaliation, and source of income. And finally, for the housing complaints filed by municipality of the respondent, the majority were Chicago, with 8 complaints filed there. And note that some of those, of course, would include the complaints filed in relation to discrimination based on criminal history, which of course is within the jurisdiction of the commission. And finally, the total, or the most common basis of dismissal for investigations or closure, is in relation to lack of jurisdiction, with 35 complaints closed for that purpose. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much for your report. Commissioner Naya.
Thank you so much, Director. Appreciate the report. So just some, I just want to clarify the summary chart that you have. The areas that are blue, so the case pending in quotation, I'm sorry, parentheses, all stages, and the cases closed as duplicates. There's no numbers for FY 2024 and 25. Does that mean that you were not tracking those, or does that mean that you didn't have any?
So it's going to be different for the 2 categories. So for cases pending at all stages, so that is the total number of cases that we're working on, that were active within a given quarter.
Okay.
So we are going to work on providing a total, that's going to be a little different for an entire fiscal year. So that'll be the total number of complaints handled across an entire fiscal year, which we can provide. I think for 2025, that was around 480 or so complaints across the year. But we'll make sure that that figure is included going forward. It will likely be in a separate or role.
Okay.
And then for
and really quick on that piece, I think what would be really beneficial for us to do the comparison is if we have the cases pending as of the quarter that we're looking at. So this is the first quarter for FY 2026. If we have the total amount of cases pending in FY 2024 in that box, and then also I should say the first quarter for 24 and then the first quarter for 25, because I think those trends would be really beneficial for commissioners to know, and whether you're seeing an uptick in that quarter for a particular, inquiry or investigation. Just a suggestion, obviously, I know you all have your data points, so however you want to report that back, but I think for that one specifically, I would like to kind of see what that volume looks like, especially because, again, staffing needs, et cetera.
And if I can respond to that before. So yes, that is the intention going forward, that so for the second quarter report, third, et cetera, that you'll continue to see those totals. This is a newer metric that we're adding because we know that it's not as helpful to just see just the total complaints, but not have a fuller picture of all the matters that are pending before the commission at one time.
Wonderful, thank you. My second question was in regards to table 3. That's on page 2. So correct me if I'm mistaken, but I just want to make sure that I'm reading this correctly. These are the investigations in quarter 1, right? These are the numbers. So it's not inquiries, these are investigations.
Correct. So that first, the top chart on page 2 those are the inquiries by type, and then the second are the new complaints that were filed by type. So that does not account for all the complaints that are pending before the commission, just the new ones that were filed in that quarter.
Okay, so just new, not pending, not other previously pending.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Just because I want to make sure that my numbers are adding up. And then my last question is in regards to the investigations completed within 180 days. So these necessarily do not mean that this order they were filed, just mean that it could be all together, correct?
Correct.
So okay, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, family. Any other questions from members of the committee? Seeing none, thank you so much for your report today.
Thank you.
And with that, we move for a roll call vote.
And your motion on the floor is to receive and file item number 1113. Moved by Commissioner Trevor, second by Commissioner Knight. Commissioner Knight, your vote, please. Ma'am? Yes, thank you. Commissioner Knight is, Commissioner Pascal?
Yes, go on.
Commissioner Miller? Miller, aye. Previous vote for all. Aye, Commissioner Stamps?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Trevor? Aye. Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Vasquez?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. Chairman?
Aye.
Chairman, all votes are in, 7 ayes, 0 nays.
The motion passes. And with that, any other discussion before the committee? Seeing none, Commissioner Miller, motion to adjourn, seconded by Commissioner Stamps. All those in favor signify by voting aye, all opposed nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, this meeting is now adjourned. With that, are we ready to protect? Thank you. I'd like to call the Cook County Technology and Innovation Committee back to order. I believe we had quorum at the time of recess.
That is correct. You have one member that has added to remote participation for the past vote. Commissioner Humphrey, still connected,
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
reading remote participation. Sorry.
And well, Commissioner Scott moves for remote participation, second by Commissioner Aguilar. It was, they said a roll call vote for that.
Thank you. Commissioner Aguilar, your vote?
Yes.
Aye.
Commissioner Aguilar is aye. Commissioner Deckman? Aye. Commissioner Haskell?
Aye.
Commissioner Miller? Previous vote for all aye. Vice Chair Don Morrison? Aye. Commissioner Scott?
Aye.
Commissioner Trevor?
Aye.
Commissioner Vasquez?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman?
Aye.
All votes were in and aye. You have 9 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion succeeds. And with that, do we have any registered total speakers for this meeting?
Speakers, I see 3 in the room. George Blakemore, Jessica Jackson, Zoe Taiwan Sims here. Now, those 3 please come to the public speaking mic. You have 3 minutes to address the body. Would you? Or
Technology.
George Blakemore is first, followed by Jessica and Zoe.
Thank you. So many of you do everything in one day. Yes, and I guess you get together and say, let's get it over in one day. One right behind the other. I asked the young man, which one is this? He said, technology. Technology. To go back to this assessor, the cow with technology. So evidently, something is wrong with this technology. With the keep Madam President to keep getting Tyler or Keller or whatever all this time and messed up all these taxes, technology. Now I just couldn't believe it. One right behind the other. I guess y'all say we're gonna get them all done today. Get it done. I'm always trying to correct my verbs. My mother could speak very good English. I said, I have saw her. Shut up. I have seen her. A very intelligent lady. I guess she said they're not teaching you nothing in school. I'm gonna teach you. Well, maybe it was me. And she would also say, Nathan is smarter than you. Mama, what you, Nathan Jones is smarter than you. But she recognized the other lady's little son was smarter than her son. I tell you, these Hispanics are smarter than the blacks. They advocate for their people. But I love my black ones, because I'm black. Love is not enough. Something mentally is wrong with them when they watch another people come and make advances. They look at other people's communities. Mr. Wakeman, you're speaking while you're talking. You just old. How old are you? 84? Uh-huh. But when you can see that your communities, well, you can see, stop it. Telling me 1 minute, 1 second, stop it. What if I go over a minute? Are you gonna drag me out? You gonna call the sheriff to drag me out, handcuff me? What's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with Mr. Bateman? They have a mental problem. But even though they have advanced materials, but their mind is in a slave mentality. Mr. Bateman, but these are educated people, the miseducation of the black man. The miseducation of the black man. Something is wrong with us. Something is mighty wrong here.
Next speaker, Jessica Jackson.
Something is mighty wrong here.
You know, it's amazing how we can clear a room, right? I mean, that's amazing. How we can clear a room, you know what I'm saying? And it's all behind us standing up for ourselves, standing up for our rights, and standing up for our community. It's amazing because we've been in these meetings now for over 3 years. And so you get to see the dynamics of how things play out. And it's amazing how people who are in charge, they really don't pay attention to what you're talking about. See him on his phone. They gonna be talking over there. She talking up there. You know what I'm saying? And the only people who get their attention is the 501c3 people that come in here speaking for them. The people that they didn't pay to come in here and present a certain look, a certain picture. That's who gets their attention. But if you are fighting for your rights, if you're calling them to the carpet for anything, this is what you're gonna get. Now, he's supposed to be talking about what? Technology?
Yeah.
And I guess the example that he's showing is him playing on the phone to show that technology works. I guess that's what that means. Why he just standing here on his phone while you got somebody doing public speaking. Okay, so technology works because you on your phone. I get you. Anyway, the main thing with technology is you all need to pay attention to how they are cheating in the courts by way of technology. They'll file something electronically and swear up and down that it got sent to you when in fact it did not. But some type of way by technology, maybe he see it on his cell phone. And maybe it'll come to him one day if it ever happened to his family. I've come to realize that that's the disconnect here. You all so plugged and so crooked that you never have to worry about the things that you do to other people happening to y'all.
That's it.
Y'all just want to get that backdrop of money that come your way. But doing everybody else while you save yourself.
You gonna call me sheriff.
That's what that is, because ain't no way y'all that much into your work. That when y'all get here in front of the public, you're so important that you got to talk to each other to straighten it out, be on the cell phone to make sure it's right. All that's theatrics.
30 seconds.
It's all theatrics. Don't believe it? Check your technology. Go to that clerk of the court and tell her to show you no cases. Tell her to show you the records that's in there by technology so you can see how they done manipulated court records. That's why people lose their cases. That's why people go to jail behind bad court records. Technology that.
It says to
Wow.
reduce our environmental footprint and promote sustainability, we encourage everyone to consider alternatives to using paper whenever possible. And this public Wi-Fi access is terrible. And it's crazy. And I know why it's terrible, because y'all can continue to play around and change them deeds up there that Jesse White is known to do. That's why y'all hurried up and put him in the Secretary of State, because y'all got to keep the corruption going. Y'all don't want to make sure the technology is up to date to modern times, because y'all can continue to steal. Y'all can continue to act like you don't have the paperwork or you don't have that. And even though we have our paperwork, like my mother never throws anything away. My godfather never throws anything. Clearly, Miss Jessica doesn't either. It's just a thing. I guess maybe also because back in the day, like my mother was born in 1949, they didn't have computers and fax machines and stuff like that. So you got to keep every paper, right? So my mother keeps all the papers. My godfather keeps all the papers, tax bills, all of that. But for some reason, when we bring them down to y'all, well, I don't see it in the system. Of course, you're not going to see it, so you took it out. if you want the property, you're gonna take it out. So y'all sit here and act like we are the problem, but we're not the problem. I was born 1986. 1986. I know how to use the social media. I know how to use the computer. I know how things work. I also know how to sue. I've sued private companies and have won with all the evidence. But for some reason, I have all the evidence, and y'all are paying millions of dollars to not settle my cases because y'all know once I get that money, I can actually help my community understand why we cannot vote for none of y'all. But it's cool because I'm passionate about my elders understanding that they cannot continue to vote for our own demise. They cannot continue to hurt the younger generation coming down. So I'm coming up. So I'm going to make sure that I educate my elders like I educated my godfather, who's 82 years old, how I educated my mother, who's 77 years old, and any other elder who understands that something's wrong because they know it's something wrong. And because you guys think that you are going to continue to do this corruption, which you're not, I'm going to make sure my generation tells these elders to either hold a vote or never vote blue, never again. It's over. Because y'all terrible. Y'all terrible. I'm terrible. Y'all are terrible. Terrible.
And with that, the first item, is 26-14-30. Minutes from our last meeting on April 15, 2026. Moved by Vice Chair John Morrison, seconded by Commissioner Trevor. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by voting aye. All opposed, nay. Independent of the chair, the ayes have it. Next, we have item 26-0816, a proposed contract between Safeway Inc. and the Sheriff's Office. Commissioner Vasquez moves to defer this item, seconded by Commissioner Trevor. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by voting aye, and all opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. With that, any other discussion before our committee today? And with that, we move for adjournment, moved by Commissioners.
Be related.
Commissioner Aguilar, Commissioner Jordan, seconded by Commissioner Sean Morrison. All those in favor signify by voting aye. And the chair, the ayes have it. Technology and Information Committee.
It wasn't for me. 2.5 hours. What is this?
Madam Secretary, will reconvene so the county asset management meeting. In this session meeting, you did have a forum, all members were present with the exception of Commissioner. As the security. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Hart is present, all members are present, there's a forum. Okay. Forum is present, I'm sorry, one more thing. Commissioner McCaskill, you still connected? If so, we need a remote roll call. Commissioner McCaskill?
Yes, I am here.
And we do need so we should do one for a second. Moved by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Aguilar.
She got her chips and her 2 Pepsis.
Aye.
Commissioner Dyer, Commissioner Britton. As absent, Commissioner Duggan. Is this the aye? Yeah, thank you. Commissioner Casco. Aye. Commissioner Moore. Previous board member, aye. Commissioner Doug Morrison.
Aye.
Commissioner John Morrison. Thank you, Madam Chair. Aye. Madam Chair, you have 8 ayes, 1 absent, vote for Commissioner Britton. Commissioner Britton, your vote is
Aye.
aye for remote participation. 9 ayes, 0 nays. Thank you. Any registered public speakers? Here we have 3 in the room. Thank you. Support. President Jackson and Zoe.
Thank you, asset management.
Asset management.
Thank you. What is the purpose of remote? If I'm sick, It's snow bad and plenty weather, and I don't wanna come down. But I'm already here. Something's wrong here. I'm already here. And what's keeping me from getting up and sitting in my seat? What's the purpose of that remote? Or whatever they call it. That's when people can't, it's some emergency. I think all of you are abusing this. It's an emergency and you can't come to your job. But if you continue to be remote, well, it's so that you are abusing the system. These employees can't call in remote. That sheriff can't do that. You got to be physically here. And if you continue to be absent, they will fire you. Man, common sense is not coming anymore. Make it happen. Am I crazy? I know I look terrible. You keep on talking about your look. I never looked this ugly in my life. But things happen when you get old. It happens. Keep living. Keep living. I just can't stand to see myself. Look at that little old frail hand. Anyway, what's the purpose of that remote? What is the purpose of this? Make it make sense. I'm already here. I'm already here. Now, we're not going to beat up on the commission. All of y'all. Oh, you speak so southern. All of y'all called in and used that remote. If you continue to do that, that shows that you have no respect for your job. You have no respect. If I keep calling in and calling in and calling in and remote, why would you even create that? That's for emergency. My daddy worked in Santa Fe 40-something years, and he called in and said, I can't come. I can't come. I'll come tomorrow. I can't come. It's snowing outside. Something is wrong with my car. Keep on being late.
30 seconds.
Something is wrong here. No leadership. Out of control. Out of control. And they look at him right over there, look at me. Now, oh, you think I'm a fool? Oh, you look so ugly, frail. It's a big, but I'm still somebody. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am.
There you go.
I said, who
That's how you
else?
feel room. That's how you
That's
feel
me.
room. Bye. Okay. Whew. All righty, type. I mean, it's comical at this point, wouldn't you say? I mean, we really, you good with this social media stuff. I want you to start pulling this down. We're gonna start sending this stuff to Cat Williams and them, because it's straight comedy. It's straight comedy. And everybody's paying attention to Chicago right now. Everybody, for the political machine that it is. Everybody's paying attention to Chicago right now. So we're going to get some of this stuff to some of these comedians, because this is a joke. This is a joke. Blakemore said it best. It's no respect for your job. It's poor leadership.
Poor leadership.
As the head is, there goes the body. Tony Preckwinkle is god awful, and been god awful for a very, 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 tell me 30 seconds, because I'm a very, very into 30 seconds, very, very long time. She's horrible. That's how come you Scott Britton. That's why you can sit there being commissioner over litigation and straight up don't settle no cases. That's why, because you got a horrible leader. And she's telling you to act that way, and you saying, all right, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's why you like that. And you just messing up people. You know, Bridget, what's her name? Commissioner Bridget, that's supposed to be the auditor. That's why you won't audit anything. Because your leader telling you not to. Don't look puzzled and perplexed. I've been told you to audit my mother's probate estate. 2016P 005729. There it is. But you don't have to do it. You know why? Because your leader telling you that you don't have to. That's why. That's why you turn into a sorry auditor. Because you're not doing your job. Ain't no need to tuck in your bottom lip. That's what time it is. I'm an accountant. And I know in order to be respected as an accountant, you got to do your job. People can come to you as an accountant for an answer when they can't get it from nobody. And for you to sit there looking perplexed, it's a disgrace to our profession. Assets are things that people own, right? So you start looking at the things that people own, which is our real estate, and how y'all been taking it. That's the only management y'all been doing. It's stealing real estate. That's the asset that y'all been managing to steal. All right, Lynn, you do yawning. It's my 30 seconds, sir.
Yeah.
Zoe Lee is our next one.
What you say?
Zoe Lee is our next.
Oh, cover your mouth when you yawn. Manners.
So for a government like Cook County, asset management means tracking, maintaining, protecting, and using public assets responsibly so taxpayer resources are not wasted, stolen, neglected, or mismanaged. But y'all do all of that. Okay. Examples of Cook County government assets. This is for my people who are listening. Government buildings, physical assets, government buildings, roads and bridges, vacant lots and county-owned land, police vehicles and equipment, public housing properties, water and sewer infrastructures. Financial assets, tax revenue, pension funds, grant and federal funding, TIF, public funds that y'all steal, because that's y'all piggy bank. Records and digital assets, property records, court records, GIS maps, public databases, contracts, and permits. What government asset management is supposed to do? Well, you guys are supposed to keep accurate records of what it's owned, track property conditions and maintenance, prevent fraud, waste, and corruption, ensure assets benefit the public, dispose of surplus property legally and transparently, make sure public land sales and demolitions follow due process. But y'all have made it a major issue. Corruption, illegal. Public land is transferred unfairly. Property owners are displaced improperly. Demolitions happen without proper notice. Vacant properties are neglected intentionally. Political insiders benefit from redevelopment deals. Taxpayers' funded assets are misused. And you think you deserve to go to Congress? And you are the chairman for assets management. I've been coming in here for 3 years telling you about the city of Chicago unlawfully demolishing my property without due process. My mother has all the records. My godfather has all the records. This is Cook County. That's why I do not think that you should go to Congress.
1 minute.
We have a problem here, Donna. They're stealing Black people's property, and they're doing it with our elders because they know that they do not understand technology. They do not understand social media. They do not understand AI. But I do. And I love my mother. And I love my godfather. And I love my Black people. Just like everybody else should love theirs. But I can't get no help from y'all, and y'all are the public servants. It's one Republican here. He does nothing. But he never does anything. So it's expected. They say that about you. They say Liz Gorman said she talked, yeah. That's why she coming back. They say that's why she's coming back. Because they say you got some stuff. That's why you got to actually get off this. So it's gonna come out. But as I'm saying though, like, come on, man. At least look at it. At least look at my stuff. At least look at Miss Jessica's stuff and see the pattern. Because it's a pattern.
You know, Scott Britton know.
Okay, well, you can look at my stuff.
They know.
Because honestly, this is what they did was wrong.
She knows.
You know her.
She's coming back.
She about to get into
Seconded by Commissioner Naya. All in favor of approving 26-1357, say aye. All opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Vice Chair Aguilar, will you please move the next items on the agenda?
Oh, I was going here to read so many years. Mhm. Here you go. Caliburn,
The chair. Please move the, vice chair motions to receive and file the following items: 26-1144, 2025 program annual report, and motion to approve the following item: 26-1057, authorization of the chief procurement officer to enter into executive contract with Stein Sons International Incorporated with Architecture and Engineering Services for demolition and division.
Demolition.
Renovation in Division 5. That's correct, 5.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
5 and Division
4 or 5.
4 and 5. Jim.
Thank you, Vice Chair Aguilar. Is it okay?
Demolition of Division 4 and demolition of Division 5.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Britton. Can we just go ahead and take up item 26 for a vote so that we can hear from asset management on the build up?
Are you doing a bundle or are you going to separate?
Can we separate them?
You can, yes.
Okay, yeah, let's separate them.
Okay, so let's amend the motion on the floor to this.
Okay, amend the motion. We'll take that 26-1057 to approve item for the authorization of the chief procurement officer to enter into the contract. And still that will be moved by Commissioner Aguilar, seconded by Commissioner Britton.
And the motion is to approve, right?
Motion to approve. Can we take a vote? Yeah, oh, you have a question on this?
Yeah,
one?
just for the record, there's no relation to, I don't Epstein name on here, I just wanted to make sure that for the record. There's no relation, some of the current investigation work about it doesn't seem like there is, but I just wanted to make sure that for the record, my comments or someone.
I think it's pronounced Epstein.
Yeah. Thank you.
Corrected on it, said Epstein.
About that.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Rafi Sarafi, Chief Procurement Officer. We run our contracts before we bring them to you, the board. We run them through background checks and nothing has come up. And we're not familiar with anything, any connection. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Any further questions? Can we vote on this now, items? And I don't know where it's to approve,
1057, moved by Commissioner Aguilar, seconded by Commissioner Britton. Roll call, so Commissioner Aguilar, you're with them.
Aye.
Commissioner Elliott. Commissioner Britton. Previous votes for aye. Commissioner Beckman. Is absent, Commissioner McCaskill. This is a roll call vote, is it aye or present? Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner McCaskill is aye, previous votes for aye. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Kevin, Morrison.
Aye.
Commissioner John Morrison.
Aye.
And Madam Chair.
Aye.
And your votes are 8 ayes and 1 absent. Commissioner.
I just had a question.
Okay. Commissioner Beckman?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you gonna vote on this item? We have this absent.
Well, I'm there.
What's your vote?
This is 26-1057, right?
Yeah.
Demolition and scale changes.
No, 26-1057. Oh, okay. Yes.
Right, I had a question about this.
Yes.
Okay, so, we had a briefing on this with you, right? And there were a couple questions that I had, and I wanted to follow up. We had, the discussion about RFP and RFQ process for how this contract was acquired. And I just kind of wanted to drill down a little bit. So instead of doing an RFP, which I think when I looked at my notes, we normally would do if we are looking for a dollar amount and there's some specificity to the contract about exactly what we need to do, we think is a little bit more complicated or complex. And RFP is something that we already know what's going to be happening. We should just really looking for a price, right? Okay. Okay, me, I'm conflating this with my work at the state. But when we do an RFQ, mostly because it's a simpler project and we're just like focused on dollar amounts.
an RFP with more specific to a complicated process. So you're saying here at Cook County, those two are colder.
That's for sure.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Rafi Sarafian, Chief Procurement Officer. Thank you for your question. An RFQ can be used when the agency or the department really wants to focus on the qualifications, the technical expertise, the experience of the firm that they will select through the evaluation process. And it's especially used in the context of architecture and engineering services, which is what the contract with A. Epstein is for. And so and price is not even in an RFQ evaluation. Price is not one of the criteria because it's critical to go through that qualification-based analysis upfront. Price comes in once the committee makes their selection and you head into contract negotiation. Unlike an RFP where price is included as one of the criteria among other things like qualifications and that sort of thing. But price is then part of that analysis, and price can, and with an RFP, price can be an influencing factor in the evaluations when you're getting into comparing pricing submitted by one proposer over the other. So to remove that consideration up front in an RFQ, you're solely looking at the qualifications and the qualification packages that were submitted.
Okay, so how many, when we submit our request for proposal, we give that out to everybody that has historically worked for the county, right? So every architect and engineering firm that we had would have had an ability to bid
Yes.
on this for the RFP.
Yes, so what we do when regarding notification of our contract opportunities, we do a couple of things. First, well in advance of the solicitation being advertised in the Chicago Tribune, we include the solicitation in our annual buying plan. And that's our forecast for the upcoming year. This RFQ was included in the buying plan for fiscal year 24, and we did in fact advertise the RFQ in fiscal year 24. So well in advance of us advertising, we put the notification in the Tribune to alert everybody this is coming up.
And then how many people responded? How many entities responded?
Yeah, I can get back to you. with that. I don't have that in that detail with me. But then after the buying plan, then comes the day that we advertise.
So this is mid 2026. So you're saying that back in 2024, we said, hey, everybody, we're gonna put this RFQ out. Right, so everybody should know and look for it. And then in 2020, we actually put the RFQ out.
And we put the RFQ out. Bear with me 1 second, please. We put the RFQ out in 24. I can get you the answer in a second. Commissioner, I'll have to get back to you with an answer to that question. I don't have the exact date that we advertised.
I'm curious about the timing. We put an RFQ out and now it's 2 years late. And I don't know, 2 years later, and we're now before the board, asking the board to approve an RFQ. Why is it taking 2 years?
Yeah, again, I don't have an answer to that question. I would have to get back to you. I don't know exactly when we advertised, and I don't know when the evaluation process concluded.
Let me back up again then. 2 years is a very long time frame for any kind of RFP. I mean, 6 months is maybe for me a long time, maybe for you not a long time, but a year is really long. 18 months is extremely long. 2 years just is way too long. So I don't seem to understand. I understand I've done RFPs myself. I have written scopes of work. You and I have had many conversations about this. That time frame is way too long for any county to be able to do business in a reasonable amount of time, make decisions and get the work done. So do you recall with any specificity this particular RFQ and why it took so long?
As I said, without knowing the dates and without me getting back to my team and finding out what happened, I can't give you a detailed answer. What I can tell you, generally speaking, is that a couple of factors are involved in evaluations, whether in an RFP or an RFQ. the number of qualification packages received. I don't know how many we received. I don't know how detailed they were, how many pages they were. I don't know about the availability of the evaluation committee members. Keep in mind that evaluating proposals or qualification packages is not the only task on the desk of each evaluation committee member.
I understand. Okay, let's back up again. So, you know, there's only one thing on the list here for, asset management for 26-1057, and it's this renovation and demolition campus. And so you're here to talk about that. So I guess, did you prepare in order to come before our board? Did you look at this material in order to respond to questions?
Yes, I did. The one thing I don't have is the exact dates, unfortunately. But I was answering, I was told that questions on the notification process, who we notified, how our notification process worked. And that's what I was prepared to speak to. The detailed questions, unfortunately, I don't have that information with me. Typically I do, but in the information I was provided, it was not included. So I'm unable to provide you that detail right now.
Okay, well, I would just say going forward, you know that I have a lot of curiosity about these things from my work in the state, my work here. And I think that you and I have had enough conversations that you know that these are the type of questions that I would ask. So I'm not asking you to read my mind or kind of go down every route hole, but for things about RFQ and RFP, Jamie and I did have a full conversation about this. And I know that it's probably communicated to you in general, but about a 2-year lag in that time frame is something that I would want you to come here and be able to explain why that happened and give some detail around it. Again,
Sure.
I'm not going to do anything that would be outside of the bounds of a reasonable request, but these things, when we have to vote on them, and it is this contract that's almost a $2 million contract, it concerns me that we have stale pricing, that there could have been other folks that would be able to respond to this in the interest of time, that would make better quality of work, somebody who might do the job better and a better price. And it's baseline, those are things that I'm gonna look for when I wanna vote for a contract like this. So I guess my expectation and the kindest way I can say is please come next time with these types of details available. I'm sorry to cover everything. I'm always happy to take more information later. But at a baseline, I think it's fair that have these questions and it's fair that you can get a response.
Understood.
Okay. Okay. So I would like to know how many people actually responded to this.
We'll get it back.
I appreciate that. Those are all my questions. Thank you. Jamie, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Secretary, we need to go back into the roll call.
Mayor, please interrupt things on your item on the floor was to approve item number 1057, moved by Commissioner Aguilar, second by Commissioner.
Yes, okay, yes. Okay,
And if you're ready, I'll start.
yes, please take the roll call.
Commissioner Aguilar, your vote?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Britton? Aye. Commissioner McCaskill? Thank you. Commissioner Degnan has reached your motion, your vote here. Thank you. Commissioner Degnan has not been innocent. Commissioner Caskill wasn't on the commission. Moore. Yes. Commissioner, Morrison?
Aye.
Commissioner Sean Morrison? Thank you, and Randall, aye. Madam Chair, we have 8 ayes and 1 absent vote for Commissioner.
Okay, all right, this motion passes. Now we will go and take up item number 26-1144, the 2025 Build Up Code Program. And can you please describe it?
Can anybody hear me?
Yes. Do you agree?
Oh, there we go. Hi,
Ma'am, you can open up for this.
I'll be ready to do that. Okay. Motion on the floor to receive and file the following items 26-1144, moved by Commissioner Naya, second by Commissioner Bennett. All in favor?
Discussion and then roll call.
Okay, now we want to have the discussion, please. Okay.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you for your time. My name is Jamie Myers. I'm the interim bureau of asset management. And today we're here to give a summary of the Build Up Cook annual report. And for that, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Andrew Williams.
Hi, my name is Drew Williams Clark. I'm the Director of Bill of Cook in the Bureau of Asset Management. I do have a brief presentation. I promise it'll be 5 minutes. My colleague Victor Gutierrez is on the Teams link, and so I'm just sort of flagging that so that can you share screen so that folks that are able to can see the presentation. Excellent, that looks right. So I'm just going to plow through this. I know it's been a long day. I've instructed to be brief. I intend to follow instructions.
Super brief.
So it's exceedingly brief, even more than half to. So maybe you could advance to the next slide. Overall, Bill of Cook is intended to be a transformational program designed to address critical infrastructure needs across Cook County. We focus on under-resourced municipalities. The map that you're seeing on that slide shows the 60 projects that we are on track to complete by the fall of this year. You can see they cross a lot of different categories, but these are all critical infrastructure needs. They're not nice to have, they're absolute musts. Many are backup measures in time of disaster. So if we could advance to the next slide, I want to focus on four themes for the overall presentation. All of this is contained in the annual report, which we did go around and try to distribute in hard copy earlier today. I have 3 packets for the 3 commissioners on the committee that weren't available when we did that. We'll make sure that you get one on your way out today. So the 4 themes I want to focus on are critical, foundational, and the impact that we've had thus far, and some looking ahead to the next years of the program. So thinking you advance to the next slide. The work that we're doing is both critical and foundational. I say critical because without the work that we are doing, residents in many cases would be in jeopardy of public health crises or would be in challenging situations in the context of a natural disaster. So I'm showing one as a very, very specific case is emblematic of what this means. You're looking at a water supply main under the bridge on Halstead at 129th Place that feeds several different communities and is owned by the city of Harvey. 2 years ago, it burst and was raining potable water into the Calumet River for several days. We were able to go in and replace a redundant supply main to make sure that the 40,000 people who received potable water through the supply main would be safe in a situation in which there was a dramatic freeze-thaw cycle so that those communities have potable water. So what you're seeing here is the before picture, the after picture, several of the team members that were involved in the ribbon cutting involved in that particular project. This is emblematic of many different projects. We're doing several different water main replacements, a lot of valve hydrant replacements in communities that sorely need those to make sure that fire suppression is possible and also so that critical fixes to water supply infrastructure can be made. There's a lot more to say about this, but the point I'm trying to make is that the construction work, especially that we're doing, is critical and is extremely important. So for the next slide, the other side of this that I want to emphasize is that we're not just fixing things and putting bricks and mortar into the ground, as important as that is. We want to make sure that the 24 municipalities with whom we have active partnerships also can build their own capacity to be able to respond to these emergencies and in fact to be proactive so that they don't happen in the first place. So we've done that in a variety of ways, a series of assessments, some building assessments in particular, looking at buildings that are in really, really bad shape. Village halls, fire departments, police departments, and the communities that you've already seen in that map. But we've also done a series of capacity building workshops in partnership with several different entities. One that you're seeing on this slide is specifically training water operators in the communities that we work with so that they can make sure that they know how to exercise valves, what a valve exercise schedule looks like, make sure that they have a plan for that so that when repairs go to be made, those valves don't collapse because they haven't been turned in several years. So that's one example. We've also done workshops on financial readiness, grant preparedness, a series of other topics that are critical to making sure that folks have both the finances and the asset management staff that they need in order to address these critical infrastructure issues. So if we go to the next slide. Thank you. These are some highlights of some of the wins that we've had by the numbers, so to speak. We're very proud of the fact that the construction dollars that we're spending thus far, and this is as of construction projects in 2025, 49% have gone to minority, women, and small business enterprises. That's a great, that exceeds our goals as a county. It's a really good return on what we're able to do and making sure that the folks who need to participate in this market are able to do so. The other thing I want to emphasize is that this is job creation. So we've got 149 laborers and 344 skilled trade workers that are involved in these projects overall. If you go to the next slide, finally, a key aspect of the capacity building work that we're doing is making sure that communities with limited capacity can compete for the substantial federal monies that are available for lead water service line replacement. The state of Illinois got almost $1 billion in the past 3 years under several different acts to make sure that we can replace the lead water service lines across our states. We wanted to make sure that the under-resourced communities that need those dollars the most can actually compete for them and then can be compliant and spend those funds down during the period of performance. So as of now, over $50 million have been raised through the support of the Build Up Cook program that are in the hands of those municipalities now, and they are working to implement those programs that work right now. We go to the next slide. I want to just do a quick overview on what we're doing next. This program was initially stood up with over $30 billion of American Rescue Plan Act federal funding that the county allocated several years ago. So far, as we said, we split that 30 million, roughly 2/3 into construction projects because we wanted to make sure that we weren't studying folks. We wanted to make sure that we were actually putting things in the ground that would have a lasting and sustainable impact on the communities that we intend to serve. And then the remaining third of that funding we're spending on capacity building. Moving forward, since we won't have $30 million of federal money, we're really going to focus on that capacity building work. So again, I'm showing you sort of an example. We've worked with incredible partners doing this work. One significant partner is the Great Lakes Community Action Partnership that helped us put on those water operator trainings. And so we intend to continue to partner with them if at all possible, and through obviously whatever agreements and legal means we have to do that. But I wanted to showcase one of the partners that we are working with in ways that we intend to continue to do that. If you go to the next slide, the other things that we intend to keep doing besides hosting workshops, working on asset management plans, and a variety of other topics with those workshops. We put out, I think, one guide. We're on track to complete another. This is the Build Up Cook 2025 grant guide that we produced a couple of years ago that has helped several of our municipal partners walk through a complicated grant process, make sure that they are planning ahead to do that, understand the way the cycles of federal and state grants work, and can be creating a team and putting things in order to be able to compete more effectively for those resources. And then on the other screen, I'm sort of emphasizing the other graphic on the screen, I'm emphasizing that a lot of the work that we do moving forward will focus on finance. So that was the grant guide. We're actually working on a guide now overall for making sure that municipal financial structures are put in place effectively so that, again, that you can compete more effectively for those grant resources and that you have structures as a municipal government to be able to do very significant capital projects, which many of the communities we're working with will need to do in the next several years. So the last thing I'll say before we turn on the questions, hopefully I'm still moving quickly enough. We advance to the next slide. One key aspect of the work that we're doing right now is a huge study in partnership with the University of Illinois, Chicago's Government Finance Research Center. I can't believe I just said Illinois without silencing the S. I didn't grow up here. Please don't hate me. But that entity has been a great partner so far. They've actually done several studies for the state around drinking water finance, and they've actually been able to survey all of the 118 municipal drinking water utilities in Cook County to understand what are their capital needs and dollar value of those needs. We got a 50% response rate, which for this kind of survey is incredible. We do think that the results will be generalizable to the entire county. The goal of the study overall is to be able to say, this is the total dollar figure to bring Cook County's drinking water utilities up to a state of good repair in the next 10 years. We know the figure is going to be in the multiple billions, but unless we know what that figure is and a little bit more about it, it's going to be very hard for the county and Build Cook to be a good partner to make sure that this brought up to a state of good repair. The other side of this report will make recommendations about governance because we know that these utilities are fragmented very, very much in terms of the way that they're run. So we want to look at strategies that can save costs and leverage collaborations in the future in order to make sure that we move on from the crisis that we're in right now in many of our drinking water systems overall. So with that, I will pause and entertain any questions that you all would like to pose. I'm happy to respond to them, but I do know, again, that everyone wants to keep moving forward.
Thank you. Questions? Sean Morrison.
Just a comment, based off of Illinois, Jewel or Jules?
Jules.
It's the Jules.
The end is chewed on and prolonged.
That's easy.
Any questions?
Come on, Britt, that was funny. I'm sorry, did you say something?
I just had a question, actually, there's no other questions.
I got like 5.
Commissioner, okay. For the municipal water infrastructure survey, can we get a list of municipalities that participated so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and also, is it also segmented by, municipalities that get water from, where they get water from.
One of the questions was source, absolutely.
Okay. And then the other question about that was the South Suburban project that's already been underway regarding the water infrastructure plan, was that incorporated into this at all? Was that a question that might be on there?
I'm not sure which plan, I'm sorry, ma'am.
We'll talk. Okay, so we can talk about that later. All right, thank you. All right, seeing no further discussion, all in favor of receiving file, I vote no. Number 26. 26. Okay, roll call.
6/11/44 to receive and file. Commissioner Aguilar, your vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Aguilar is aye. Commissioner Ryan?
Aye.
Commissioner Britton? Aye. Your vote for aye. Commissioner Deckman?
Aye.
Commissioner McCaskill?
Aye.
Commissioner Ward? Is absent. Previous votes are all aye. Commissioner Kevin Morrison?
Kevin Morrison, aye.
Commissioner John Morrison?
Sean Morrison, aye.
Madam Clerk?
Aye.
Can you put it back?
Madam Clerk, 8 ayes.
Yeah.
Vote for Commissioner Moore.
Okay, giving the chair, the ayes have it, the motion is approved. Vice Chair Aguilar moves to adjourn, second by Commissioner Britton. All in favor of adjournment, say aye. All opposed, say nay. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Thanks.
At the same time, this is our last meeting for the day.
Of course. Salary. Yeah, we can clear a room, folks. We can clear a room.
So Madam Secretary, will be convening, contract compliance meeting. Will you please call that meeting to order?
Thank you, ma'am. That meeting at your recess, have the following numbers absent, and we will add them at this time. Commissioner Naya has been added to the roll. Commissioner Lloyd is added to the roll. Commissioner Moore is here. You do have a quorum.
Okay, a quorum is present. Do we need remote?
You do need remote participation.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to, okay.
Commissioner Haskell is on.
Oh, that's right, yeah, we're on contract.
Is there anyone else connected remotely? Commissioner Sampson.
I'm sorry, Dan. Okay. Commissioner Naya will allow members to participate remotely, second by Commissioner Lowry. Secretary, please take the roll.
Thank you, Commissioner Aguilar, you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Naya? Both ayes. Thank you. Commissioner Jagman? Commissioner Jagman, it's aye. Thank you. I know we're late, but I need to hear your mic. 'Cause I can't hear you. Thank you. Commissioner Laurie? Thank you. Commissioner Haskell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore is absent. Commissioner Kevin Morrison?
Kevin Morrison here. All right.
I this vote, thank you. Commissioner Scott? And Commissioner Scott is excused. Thank you for that. Commissioner Stance?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Vasquez?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye. Motion is approved. We're moving to the agenda.
Changes to your agenda.
Public speakers. Thank you.
George Moore, followed by Jessica Cass, and then Sylvia. Who comes to mind?
Your turn.
Contracts and compliance. A contract. And these virtual, I just got through seeing this, it's me and my, Scott. And I just got through seeing this lady here. Lord have mercy. And this other gentleman right in front of me, he's playing on his phone too. Anyway, contract and compliance. Of course, the big question, how that go to black people? I want to hear about no minority. Ask the gentleman that's gonna make his presentation about contracts and compliance. What amount of these contracts are going to black people? Over at the city, only 2%. What? Only 2%. And Carla Robinson, where do you know her from? The county. They just recycle them from one hog pen to the, where you know Carla from, that light skin, that long hair, Carla Robinson. Right here, many years she worked here. They just recycle the hog just from one pen to another. Are you sure that's Colorado? She worked over here. Now, Brandon Johnson, where do you know it from? Over here. And these contracts and compliance, and the black in the city of Chicago only receive our contractors. Black MBs, WBs, what amount do the black receive? 2%, you got $1. And 2 pennies of it, black people get. But you got these black faces, stop it. Lynn, stop it. I told you to have a clock up here, a digital clock. Just when you get ready, 2 minutes, 1 minute, time is out. I'm asking this question to you, sir. You've been dealing with this finance for a long time. What amount of this money, these contracts, go to black people? MBs, WBs, I'm talking about black. Now look at me now, turn around talking to.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. Now, where did you know Carla from? Robinson, Daddy or Robinson, hotels and rich. Right here. What percent of these contracts are black people getting? Look at what percent? Your time is out. Next speaker. Next speaker. $1, 2 pennies come with black people. Not even a penny come over here. But they got these faces in high places. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The timer has started. My time starts when I get their attention. Anyway, since this is about contracts, let's look at the contracts, because most contracts that come through here and through the city are talking about contracts for builders, construction workers, developers. But we know that there are other contracts that Cook County gets into with people. For example, the contracts that Cook County public administrators and judges get into with private law firms, like DeMonte and Robbins, like what's the one that Thomas Leon Weber is in? Leon Weber, Baroni, and DeFada. Those are the contracts, Miss Auditor, Bridget, Auditor, that you need to be auditing. That's who that you need to be looking at that money and see how much money is wasted on cases that rather than Cook County settling the cases, they go and get private law firms.
Absolutely.
And get them involved. That's more waste, more fraud, more abuse. There go the contracts, and I just gave you some. I said Robinson DeMonte. I bet you're not writing it down. And seeing, I'm saying it again, as an auditor, a form of an accountant, you do not have the luxury of saying you don't know. What you're doing is refusing to do your job. Because you can track money when you can't track nothing else. So you're just refusing to do your job. Now, this lady in the burgundy jacket, I'm not sure what her name is. When they talked about, when that other contractor got up here to talk about his contract, as soon as she looked, she said, oh, this is Epstein. Epstein is on here. I don't understand why that upset you when J.B. Prister's relative was on the Epstein file. I bet you didn't quit your Cook County job because you couldn't handle it and run, because you couldn't handle hearing Epstein, because he's on the Epstein file. He lost his job, had to step down because he was on it. So worry about this Cook County file that we getting ready to get with the Cook County list. That's going to have all y'all name on it. Worry about that list. Not no Epstein file list. Worry about this Cook County list. Because y'all the ones that's doing it, not Trump. Get that information, auditor. Yeah, with that silly smile. Look at her.
You sure?
She the auditor.
I wanna ask, I would ask Stanley Moore, but he don't do nothing. You know, that's my Cook County Commissioner for where the building was unlawfully demolished. But maybe you, Chairman, you know, Donna, if you probably could do this, and the auditor, Bridget, where is the audit comparing demolitions on Chicago's south side versus the north side? How many property owners were compensated following demolitions of privately owned properties? How many of those properties are vacant lots were later transferred, sold, or connected to investors and developers receiving city funding, tax breaks, TIF funds, or redevelopment incentives? Is there a public report tracking the financial beneficiaries of these demolitions and redevelopment deals? Now, mine is from 2017. 7954, 7958 South Halsted. That was the Sandpiper's Lounge.
She ain't right now.
I just would like to know, because that's when they demolished it. We never got compensated. It was violation of our due process, violation of my godfather's due process. He had that business since 1965, December 13th. He paid, that was a paid off, it was paid off. He did not owe anybody, and they never gave him his equity. So I'm just asking if I can just get that, I promise you, I'll be gone out of here, because that right there it's just that. We never got compensated. We never got compensated at all. And I know plenty of people that are good friends of mine who are white, who they knocked their buildings down and told them to give them a price. They told them to give them a price. So I'm just asking if we could just make, my godfather's still alive, my mother's still alive. And that's all I would like. The one Republican here, he ain't gonna do it. You understand what I'm saying? So please, Lowry, my mother love you. You're the only one that helped in 2017 when they were trying to mess it up. She speaks very highly of you. You were the only one. My mother, that's why I don't really say nothing to you, because you really did do your job. So just letting you know, that's all I'm asking. If someone could just, and you can, I'll give you my godfather's information and my mother's information, and y'all can talk to them. They are still alive and well. They move around great, and they just want to enjoy their last days. And I want to make sure that they do. Thank you very much.
She ain't write down that one thing.
I already did that.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion from Commissioner.
She don't care. She let them steal the whole transportation fund.
356, and then it's from the meeting, April 9, second by Commissioner Jackman. Voice